family at Xpress Boats has always strived to be the best. And now they're trying to help their customers be even better at what they do. And that's what I think is so cool about this series called Xpress Outdoors, is the fact that it relates to X's and O's. And how can you strategize to be the best you can be when you're out on the water enjoying the outdoor experience. Whether we're on Kentucky Lake or down in South Louisiana here at Gros Savon, or even in Arkansas chasing mallards in the timber, join us for the Xpress Outdoors experience. You know, the outdoor industry is full of talented people, and Jake here is certainly no exception to that. Stay with us as we dig into the world of Outdoor Cameraman, Jake Latendresse. You've really covered a lot of ground in your short lifetime. I know you do a lot of traveling and seen a lot of stuff, a lot of special places there.
And it's funny you bring that up, because I mean, I might be in in Argentina or South Africa or Peru or somewhere crazy duck hunting with Ramsey Russell, who was a big influence as well, because he gave me the opportunities to come film his stories around the world. And even when I'm in those places and I'm standing in some marsh by myself surrounded by foreign people that don't even speak English, I think about the same stories that we're talking about now in West Tennessee and in Arkansas that really is the foundation of all that stuff. None of that stuff would happen had I not been influenced by the people here.
You were telling me the other day, how many countries have you been to now?
I've been to 49 countries.
49 different countries. That's unbelievable.
50 states and 49 countries.
You've not been a stranger to airports by no means.
No, even during COVID, I mean, there's a sense of loss when COVID first hit in March of 2020, and then we were basically shut down for 90 days pretty much. And then as soon as airlines started flowing again, I started traveling again, and I never really slowed down. I think since COVID started, I've been to 28 states and 2 countries in the last 18 or 20 months.
So when you talk about duck hunting in some unusual places, most people think is obviously Canada, Mexico. You've done all that. You mentioned Argentina, but you've even been to the Middle East, in which people wouldn't relate duck hunting to that part of the country. What exactly area did you go to there?
Yeah, so I've been to Azerbaijan, which borders Tajikistan and Iran. We were literally hunting, like I could have thrown a baseball over the Iranian border from where we were duck hunting one time, and that was with Ramsey. And that was a really unusual place to hunt, because everyone there is so stoic and just it's odd, because they're not super happy people, because they're oppressed by their governments. They're socialistic governments, communist, and that, ironically, as we go through this, I don't want to get deep into politics, but there's something to be said about visiting those places and connecting with people that live in those countries that live under communism regimes. There's still a connection. They're duck hunters. They can't speak English, but there's this connection because we're all after the same things. They want to set their decoys right. They've adapted to the species that they hunt with their calling techniques and the different types of calls that they make out of hand. And they have very little. They don't have wax canvas jackets or Mondo duck calls, or Browning shotguns. It's all old school. There's electrical tape and duct tape all over everything that they own, because they've had this stuff for years and they continue to use it. You could take a mesh decoy bag that we used in the early 80s, that we don't even use anymore because they're too flimsy. and take it to Azerbaijan and give it to one of those guys, and they would think you gave them a Rolls Royce, because they just don't have the quality of products that we have. And you know, a lot of us take all this stuff for granted. We get mad because we spring a little leak in our waders, and it's cold, and it's true, it is, and we pay good money for these things, and we expect something out of it. But then you go over there, and these guys are literally, you know, walking through knee-deep water in 10-year-old tennis shoes, and it's 30 degrees outside. You know, it's a humbling experience, and it's something that I definitely appreciate about, you know, what I've done in the world of duck hunting.
And I think that's, you know, that's just another part of you that makes you such an interesting person. I know I love to sit and visit with you, the stories that you've got and the places you've been in your lifetime, and you know, I can't imagine getting to see all those places. It's got to be really cool. I know, you know,
it's humbling. It's humbling.
Well, and Jake Latendresse, you know, the outdoor photographer that we kind of talked about, and all the people that you said you met along the duck hunting world, but it's not all duck hunting with you. You've got a lot of other things going on too. You know, a lot of us guys know you through the Bassmaster Elite Series. You're filming the Bassmaster Live now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been a really big part of my life, and it's probably the most exciting and fun job that I've ever had. I just finished this past summer, was my 10th year on the Bassmaster Elite Series as a producer, a field producer, and it's something that I never take for granted. I mean, you know, I get to ride around with these extremely professional anglers and athletes, basically, that are the best in the world at what they do.
Yeah, for all the people that love to bass fish and follow the professional fishing world, you know, we all got our heroes out there. You get to spend time with all those guys and actually be on the water and experience what they experience. You get to see the raw emotion portion of bass fishing.
And these guys still are my heroes. I mean, I learned things, you know, from people like Bill Lowen and Caleb Sumrall and Brandon Polinick, and even, I mean, you know, I spent quite a bit of time with Kevin Van Dam and all these guys. And not only are they great fishermen, but they're professionals at what they do. They know how to handle themselves in front of cameras. They understand, you know, the business side of things. They understand being heroes to really young people and what that means to them and how it affects their lives. And they all handle it so well. The Bassmaster Elite group, all of it, the production crew, the post-production crew, the directors, the anglers, the stage crew, Dave Mercer, Mark Zona, you know, all these, Tommy Sanders, all these people are so good at what they do. I'm constantly in and around them, and through attrition and osmosis, really, I learned so much from all these people, and that's that is truly like one of the most professional groups of people in the entire outdoor industry. I mean, they're just solid. And I'm just lucky. My friend Shannon Nardi, who was my very first producer ever, she's the one that really taught me how to tell a story. And her dad was Jerry McInnes, the man that really, you know, brought the professional bass fishing world center stage in front of the cameras, and from the FLW all the way through the Bassmaster Elite and beyond. And so I've just gotten lucky being around the right people that taught me how to do the things that I do. No one gets anywhere by themselves. Everybody has influencers and everybody has heroes.
Well, I'm really excited to get to shoot a few mallards with you in the timber and listen to all the stories you got to tell. So we're just scratching the surface of who Jake Latendresse is this morning. So hopefully we can get all these decoys picked up, get back to the camp, get some breakfast, and sit down and visit some more.
It's been a pretty good morning.
It's always a good morning in the woods.
I was thinking that very thing before we shot our first duck. I thought, I don't even care if we kill a duck, but we ended up shooting a few, and it's been a lot of fun.
Any day we can spend the morning with Jake Latendresse in the woods is a good day.